Welcome back to part 3, Journey to the Rise of Skywalker. Thanks for tuning in. This is Vibe.
Darth Flexx.
Darth Flexx. And we are going to discuss the 2 audiobooks that came out for the Journey to the Rise of Skywalker. The Force Collector and Resistance Reborn. Let's start with the Force Collector, and then we'll talk about it. What's your review on it?
I did not... It was a good story, like a good side story, but I honestly did not like it too much. It's just because it was a whole lot of talking. It's pretty much like watching one of those antique show infomercials late at night on cable television. There were some nice cameos here and there, and a couple of things like, oh yeah, okay, oh that makes sense, this and that. But really, it was pretty much a very vague telling of the Skywalker saga through the eyes of some kid traveling the galaxy,
or the Jedi saga. Yeah. Well, the Jedi saga, and with
it
Skywalker saga.
is a Jedi. But the whole thing is, who is the Skywalker guy in his visions?
Yes.
Which you couldn't determine whether it was Anakin or Luke. But
right,
it was interesting. I gotta say it's probably my least favorite of the audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, Shadow of the Empire is my least favorite of the audiobooks. But I don't think it offers anything to the story.
I absolutely agree.
The last of any of the sequels, unless he is some kind of character that's going to be the next movie. That's the only way I can see him offering anything. Other than that, it's plays in the same galaxy with very, very, very little and vague nods to the movies.
To what came before. I agree. The book, to me, it was okay. I mean, I didn't hate it. It was a nice romp through the galaxy far, far away. A lot of fan service. It's like, revisiting a lot of things. It seems like this story took place before The Force Awakens. In my opinion, I don't think it starts. I think it starts before then. That's the impression it gives me. But it's like if you liked Lost Stars, or at least the first quarter of Lost Stars, then you like this because these characters I think they're in high school. It seems like, I mean, they don't call it high school, but from the behavior, it's got to be high school, because there's no other way to explain why a father would let his kid go off in a spaceship if they're not in high school. Kind of like you lending your kid your car, to go do something. They've got to be of age, not in college, but high schoolers, So that was kind of interesting. I liked the budding relationship between the 2 characters, the Force Collector and his classmate, who's half human, half something else. Her father is a First Order officer, and he has his own First Order ship, and they steal it to go off to go figure out why he has headaches. He has, and it seems to be the most common trait now, he has, is it psychokinesis, something like that, where he can touch items and the Force, Force Psycho or whatever, and he can see the history of the object, or what he can see a major event from the object. Basically, the whole book is him doing what Rey did in The Force Awakens. Every few chapters, he it'll happen. This ability is appearing a lot, and it's supposed to be rare. So that's what bugged me. Is I'm like, okay, he has that too. I mean, really? But okay, I understand. I was actually expecting, his grandma to be a Jedi. That's what I thought. She was gonna be a Jedi. I didn't know that he was gonna end up being his great grandfather was gonna actually be a Jedi, and he was the one that he was a survivor of Order 66. And that kind of was like, oh, okay, cool, that's cool, and he was alive, and I'm like, well, there you go, that's interesting. The resolution of the book kind of turned me off, because I'm just like, okay, well, he's resolved to just being a collector of the Force to retain all the memories of objects that he's gonna find. Like, I didn't get it. I didn't understand the ending. I thought the ending was gonna have some big lead-in to the story, because basically it's called, Journey to the Rise of Skywalker book, and I don't see how this led to anything. All we know is that he has a vision where he sees himself cutting down Jedi, and he thinks that he's given the understanding that it's probably memories being crossed, when in reality it could just be him. I think he might be one of the Knights of Ren. That's what I'm getting from it. But that's my prediction. So, overall, did you like the book?
I didn't dislike it,
Okay,
but I can't say like I enjoyed reading it.
right.
Like it had its moments.
Yes, it did have its moments. Yeah, I agree. It was a book. I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. I I was entertained at moments, and that was pretty much it. We're gonna move on to Resistance Reborn, and how almost lovely this book was. Darth Flexx, give us your review.
Well, this book I thought again didn't love it. I did enjoy seeing things from the past, characters that I was wondering about, like Wedge Antilles,
Yes.
Nora Wexley.
Yep.
I seeing that. One thing in particular, which I wish they would have had more, but at least I got some kind of closure, was Eden Verso's daughter. I forget
yes.
her name. And what's the other guy? Shriv or Frizz or something like that.
Shriv.
Whatever, the
yeah.
Duros. So it was nice seeing them and see what happened after the end of the Battlefront 2 campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it just seemed like a little very very minor side story to everything that's going on.
Yeah.
It does explain that it seems like we're getting fucking allies, but most of them are dead, but we are getting allies.
Right.
So we get that part. We get to the realization that for sure the resistance is defeated because there's so very little of them.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. All the book did was tell us what happened to Iden Verso's daughter, that the resistance is fucking fucked, and they need allies, and Wedge is not dead.
Right. Yeah, I agree. The book, what I found striking about the book was that it was like an Avengers level event. Not the story or the plot, but the fact that they drew all these characters. They drew characters from Black Squadron book, or the Poe Dameron comic where Black Squadron came back. They drew characters from the Aftermath trilogy. They drew characters from Battlefront 2, the campaign. All these characters, even from the original, back into the narrative, and I was just like, wow, that's freaking great, because these characters have kind of been up in the air since some of the end of these things. That I appreciated. The book to me basically was the swan song of Leia and the redemption or beginning of the redemption for Poe. That's basically what it's about. It's Poe dealing with, and I really appreciate it, is Poe dealing with the aftermath of The Last Jedi, knowing that his actions directly caused the deaths of most of the resistance. It really did. And that he called a mutiny, and how he was dealing with it, and how his resolve was to regain his trust and in everybody, and I appreciated that. The only thing that bothered me, and I'm surprised you didn't bring this up, is that Leia was just such a downer in the entire book. Like I felt like slitting my wrist, because she just seemed so defeated and so down, and she's rightfully so. She should be tired. She should be. And Poe keeps saying to me, she's not well. She can't be well after what happened in The Last Jedi. And of course, what I mean by The Last Jedi is being blown out to space and flying back into space. She hasn't been well since then. So it looks like to me she's probably gonna end up doing a Saw Gerrera in The Last Jedi. I can see that happening. That's why Rey is hugging her and crying like that. She's probably gonna say, I can run no longer. Save the resistance. Save the dream. So that's what I see happening. But other than that, I liked the book. I did, but only because it brought back the characters that I was wondering about. I liked the dynamic between Snap and Nora, and how things aren't fixed. They're still kind of weird, and it was great. It was great. It was sad to see Wedge and Nora go. They didn't die. They just left. I don't like why, but it's probably because there's nobody to cast it as them as characters in the movie. And does it make me excited for the Rise of Skywalker? No. Will it inform why they probably end up having more people in the beginning of the movie? Yes. Is it required reading for the Rise of Skywalker? No, I don't think so. I really don't. Unless you're going to sit there and be like, well, how did you guys get your forces back? Where did all these ships come from? I mean, that's about it. But it was interesting, I have to say. All right, well, that's it for part 3 of the journey to the Rise of Skywalker Geek Bros special, counting down until the days, every episode coming out until we see the Rise of Skywalker. I actually just booked our tickets. Darth Flexx and myself, we're gonna have a bromance I pick dinner movie out to see the Rise of Skywalker Thursday night, and we will actually give you that nice, sweet review coming out this following weekend. So stay tuned. Next up, Jedi Fallen Order review. We haven't beaten the game yet, but we are going to talk about it. Stay tuned. Geeking Out is strong with the Force. That's right.
Geek Bros Countdown continues all week.